Welcome back to Sip and Talk. We're jumping back in.
Yep, ready to dive deep.
Yeah, this one actually came from a suggestion by our longtime friend and, let's be honest, fan, Mickey. We all know Mickey.
Oh, yeah, Mickey. Great suggestion. So today we're tackling disunity, specifically nations divided by conflict. We're going to make a sort of reality checklist.
Really poke holes in the language often used, the kind that tries to pretty up aggression.
Exactly. Our mission, if you will, for this conversation is to look at history, look at the facts, and basically argue one core point. War and violence, they don't create unity, ever.
They're actually the roots of division, permanent division, often. We're really questioning that whole narrative that just because people share some history or ethnicity, they have to be one political unit.
Especially when force is lurking in the background.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Especially then.
Okay, so let's jump right in. That phrase, you should come home, or we're all one family.
Ugh, yeah, that one.
It sounds so warm and fuzzy, right? Like a greeting card. But when it's coming from a government with, say, missiles pointed your way, it feels different.
Totally different. It's what we call conquest language, maybe. Or even sentimental colonialism. It's designed to manipulate.
Sentimental colonialism. Wow. Explain that a bit more.
Well, it uses feelings. We all have connection to roots, family, history, but it twists them. It uses nostalgia to kind of hide the real goal, which is political control.
So it's like using emotion to distract from the power grab.
Exactly that. It sets up this weird dynamic, almost like a parent talking down to an adopted child who doesn't know what's good for them.
Okay. The big power is the parent. The smaller one is the child that needs to be brought back into line.
Right. And that instantly removes the smaller entity's agency, its right to choose its own future. Self-determination suddenly looks like, a childish tantrum.
Instead of a legitimate political choice?
Mm-hmm. And historically, this isn't new. Think about the British Empire saying India was just part of the family.
Right. Or more recently, Russia's claims in 2022 about Ukraine being one people, one family. Same playbook.
Same playbook.
Yeah.
It ignores the actual political reality, the lived experience of the people involved.
So the test for anyone hearing this kind of talk is, what does home actually look like in their offer?
Yeah. Is it a warm embrace? Or is it, surveillance, social credit scores, no free press, military drills off your coast?
If it comes with those things, it's not a home, it's a cage. Maybe a cage wrapped in a flag, but still a cage.
That's a good way to put it. A cage wrapped in a flag. And we need to see these divisions caused by conflict for what they usually are. Permanent.
Not just temporary phases.
The evidence is pretty overwhelming when you look around the world.
Okay, let's do that. A quick global reality check. Look at nations split by war. Does conflict actually lead to two separate entities, even if they share culture?
Absolutely. Let's start with maybe the most stark example, North and South Korea.
Okay, same language, same history, same culture.
Everything. Shared roots down to the core. But the Korean War in the 50s, it cemented a division that shared ethnicity just couldn't bridge.
Right. You end up with two totally different systems. A democracy in the South, a totalitarian state in the North.
Decades later, they're like different worlds. The people have fundamentally different values, different ways of life. Nobody seriously thinks they're one state now. They're two distinct regimes.
So much for blood being thicker than political systems.
Exactly. It completely blows up the idea that ancestry dictates political belonging. Now, someone might say, but what about Germany?
Yeah, good point. East and West Germany did reunify in 1990. Doesn't that show homecoming can work?
It does. But how it worked is the crucial part. They were split after World War II, right?
Yeah.
West Democratic, East Communist.
Mm-hmm.
Their reunification, it wasn't driven by one side conquering the other. It was driven by, the people, public consensus, and the whole Soviet bloc collapsing.
So the East German system failed. People wanted freedom. The wall came down.
Yeah.
It was voluntary.
Voluntary choice. Consensus. That's the key difference. Not military force imposing unity.
Consensus versus coercion. Got it. Okay, what about splits where maybe religion or ideology is the main driver?
That brings us straight to India and Pakistan. Partitioned in 1947, mainly along religious lines, Hindu-majority India, Muslim-majority Pakistan.
They share a ton of history, language roots, culture from the subcontinent.
Deep roots. But the religious and political ideology created two fiercely independent national identities. They've fought wars. There's ongoing tension.
So being culturally close doesn't mean you want to be in the same country.
Not at all. Political allegiance is something else entirely.
And you also see this historical land argument used sometimes, right? Trying to justify control based on old maps.
Oh, definitely. Look at the former Yugoslavia, Serbia and Kosovo, for example. Claims of historical shared land are often used to sort of paper over a desire for control today, ignoring the current reality and the wishes of the people living there now.
It's that same pattern again. History twisted to serve a present-day political agenda.
Mm-hmm. Hiding conquest under the cloak of heritage.
Okay, so let's bring these lessons. It's pretty harsh lessons, really, to the Taiwan and China situation. They've been separated since 1949.
Right. And the core difference here, again, isn't just a line on a map. It's the entire system.
How so?
Well, look at Taiwan. It's a vibrant democracy, multiple parties, high degree of freedom. Freedom House gave it a score of 94 out of 100 in 2024. Really high.
Okay, 94. And China?
China. Authoritarian one-party rule. Heavy censorship, limited freedoms. Its Freedom House score. 9 out of 100.
Wow. 94 versus 9? That's
Yeah.
not even close. But twins separated at birth who grew up in completely different universes with different moral codes.
So that's a pretty good analogy.
Yeah.
And China keeps pushing the same language, same roots narrative.
But that ignores the 75 years of living under totally different systems. It ignores the psychological gap.
It ignores everything that actually makes a modern nation. Living under different governments, having different freedoms, different media, different education. That creates a different reality, a different identity.
And you see that in polling, right? Younger Taiwanese increasingly just identify as Taiwanese.
Consistently. National identity isn't just about ancient history or bloodlines. It's about shared recent history, shared values, shared experiences like voting in free elections or having a free press, things that haven't been shared across the strait for decades.
And that whole motherland thing, isn't there a historical wrinkle there too? Taiwan's government, the Republic of China, ROC, that was founded back in 1912, wasn't it?
It was, before the People's Republic of China, the PRC, which was founded in 1949.
So the argument that Taiwan is the child that needs to return to the PRC parent, historically, it's kind of backwards.
It flips the whole narrative on its head, doesn't it? And this push for emotional colonization, using culture, you see it globally.
Yeah.
State media pushing narratives, cultural institutes.
Trying to build a feeling of political connection where one hasn't existed in practice for generations.
Exactly. Using nostalgia to demand political obedience while totally ignoring the fact that one side grew up with freedom and the other didn't. It's a huge psychological gap.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit. This talk of unity, national greatness, reuniting the family, it can sound almost romantic in a way, abstract.
Only in the abstract.
Right. What's the real price when force gets involved, when it stops being rhetoric and starts being action?
Well, first off, any argument that maybe the economic benefits of unity somehow make the violence worth it, it completely collapses when you look at the actual cost of war.
It's never worth it.
Never. The cost is astronomical. And global. Just look at refugees. The UN reported over 108 million people displaced by war and conflict in 2023. 108 million.
That's just staggering. A massive humanitarian crisis every single time.
And who pays the highest price within those conflicts?
Civilians. Always. I saw the Amnesty International figure, something like over 70% of casualties in modern wars are civilians.
Over 70%. That's not soldiers on a battlefield.
No.
That's schools, hospitals, homes. That's ordinary people.
What does that look like historically?
Think about the Korean War. We mentioned the split, but the human cost.
Yeah.
Roughly 5 million people killed or displaced. 5 million.
Unbelievable.
Or the Vietnam War. Around 2 million civilian deaths. These aren't just numbers. Each one is a shattered life, a broken family.
And if this unity talk ever led to actual conflict over Taiwan, there are projections for that, right?
There are. A Brookings simulation in 2022 suggested a war could cause hundreds of thousands of casualties. Just immense suffering. And that's not even touching the economic fallout.
Which would be global.
Instantly. That simulation suggested it could knock 3 to 5% off the global economy.
3 to 5%. Why so high?
Chips. Semiconductors. Taiwan produces something like 65% of the world's supply.
Wow, 65%.
Yeah. So conflict starts. The supply chain for everything, phones, cars, computers, medical equipment, it just breaks instantly.
So your phone price skyrockets, your new car gets delayed forever, inflation goes nuts worldwide. It's not just over there, it's everywhere.
Exactly. It stops being regional and becomes a global recession overnight. That's why everyone should care. It affects your wallet, your job, everything.
Beyond the economics, there's the principle too, right? The precedent it sets.
Absolutely. If a powerful country can just decide to invade a smaller neighbor using this family reunion excuse and gets away with it, that makes the world much less safe for everyone. It undermines democracy and self-determination everywhere.
That's why we saw such a strong international reaction against Russia's invasion of Ukraine, right? 141 nations condemning it.
Because the world recognized the danger of that precedent, allowing aggression masked as kinship.
So if force is so costly and destructive, what's the alternative? How does real peace happen?
History shows us, again and again, dialogue works better. Respect works better. Look at Germany, unified through consensus, and it lasted.
Versus, say, Vietnam, unified by military force in 1975.
Right. Military victory, yes, but it left deep social scars for decades. True peace, lasting peace, it needs respect for differences, it needs equality, it needs actual, non-coercive conversation.
Okay, so wrapping this up, we really want to be crystal clear here. This isn't about taking sides against any specific country or people.
Well, not at all.
It's about being anti-violence, anti-war, anti-coercion, full stop.
History just doesn't show us wars fought purely to reunite family. That's the excuse. The reality is always about power, control, and tragically, it always leads to more families being shattered, not reunited.
Yeah. Aggression packaged as love is still aggression.
And maybe the final thought to leave people with is this. What is home? It has to be a place you choose freely.
Right.
If you're being told to come home, but home means giving up your freedom, your democracy, your way of life, then it's not a home being offered. It's subjugation. It's force.
And we should always question any narrative that tries to erase the democratic choices of free people.
Always.
Well, thank you for sipping and talking with us today.
Right.
As always, we try to lay out the facts, the different perspectives, so you can chew on them and make up your own mind.
We really do love hearing your thoughts and ideas, too. Please send us topics you're curious about, things you want us to explore.
Definitely. And please don't forget to subscribe to Sip and Talk wherever you get your podcasts or audio content.
Yeah, subscribe.
And one more huge thank you to our friend Mickey. Seriously, great inspiration for today's conversation. You should all check out his YouTube channel. It's called Mickytolife.
Oh, yeah. Mickytolife. It's fun memes, music, wine tasting, travel. Good stuff.
Totally. Check it out. All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.